using a series of so-called soft biometrics. Everything from age to gender to ethnicity to skin color to height and weight. The system can keep track of targets at ranges that are impossible to do with facial recognition. Faultmeyer said like 750 feet away or more. So these devils don't even gotta close up on you. They can be 1,000 feet away from you, take a picture, and they already know who you are. This is going back to the previous article on the Huffington Post. It says the NGI will not only this is a next generation identification, will not only increase sharing between federal agencies, opening up the floodgates between the Department of Homeland Security, the State Department, the Department of Justice, and the Department of Defense, but states can also get in on the action. So this is proving to you that all these systems developed by these different government agencies will be collaged together, because there's going to be no such thing as one agency withholding information from another. That database is all going to be collaged together and used by every agency in the so-called government. So there's no more being profiled by this agency and then going to get food stamps from your local agency, and they don't know where you work at, and they don't know where.
Exactly, and I already experienced that. I tried to get some stamps, not to cut into this, and because right now I'm collecting unemployment. So I tried to go get some stamps, and the lady basically told me, like, well, yeah, your probation and so forth is this location, that location, so what are you talking about?
Right, and those are
and
two different agencies.
I thought that was illegal, but no, I'm outdated.
See what we talking about? These fucking devils is narrowing down on you people.
Right, and they putting everything live and in practice. Everybody talking about the New World Order, the New World Order.
It's already here.
Right, dumbass.
It says the system was rolled out in Michigan in February 2012, with Hawaii, Maryland, South Carolina, Ohio, New Mexico, Kansas, Arizona, Tennessee, Nebraska, Missouri on the short list for implementation, followed by Washington, North Carolina, Florida in the near future. So all those states that we just seen is being test ran, and it has more states scheduled for implementation in the near future. So this thing isn't something that that Supreme Court has to vote on for implementation in their states. It's something that's a nationwide order.
Right. Michigan, Jake. Hawaii, that's them islands, so they want to deal with the weather. Yeah. Maryland is the whites. South Carolina is the blacks. Ohio is the white. New Mexico is the Izzacots and the Latin tribes. Kansas is the mountain and the hard terrain. Arizona is the desert and the hot sun. Yeah. Tennessee is a lot of blacks. Nebraska is the cold climate weather. Yeah. Missouri, blacks. So they cover in all fields.
It says going far beyond the scope of those with criminal backgrounds. The NGI data includes criminals and non-criminals alike.
Right, criminals, non-criminals alike. Because y'all all now consider enemy combatants. Yeah. Domestic terrorists.
You can thank 9/11 for that.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, the exact legislation was Project Megiddo in 1999. Then it got updated in 2006 to the Department of Homeland Security Right-Wing Extremist Act, which that just runs down every group in America, every philosophy. Anything you can think of is classified as a domestic terrorist. So if you don't like abortions, you're a domestic terrorist. You're a Christian. You read the Bible.
Right. If you wear pants. Yep. Yeah. If you believe the second coming of Christ. Mm-hmm. If you keep more than a week worth of food in your refrigerator, you're a terrorist. If you take any pictures or anything of any monuments or buildings, anything that's considered a terrorist act, and let's go on.
Yeah. Oh, and if you're a so-called patriot for your American government, you're a domestic terrorist.
Right.
For all you so-called patriots out there. It says, going far beyond the scope of with criminal backgrounds, the NGI data includes criminals and non-criminals alike. In other words, innocent American citizens. The information is being amassed through a variety of routine procedures. So all that crap Obama was talking about a couple weeks ago, oh, we don't use drones on American citizens, we just use them on terrorists in other countries and terrorists that come over here from other countries. That's a damn lie. Because we just gave you the legislation and we gave you the event that pushed all this domestic terrorism on the people. So we just proved everything that Obama says in a lie in 30 seconds. It says, with the police leading the way as prime collectors of biometrics for something as non-threatening as a simple moving violation.
Right, and the reason why the police lead the way, because the police shield go to the Rothschilds.
And
they the debt collectors of the Queen of England.
Right. And once you say that's the closest government organization to the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what can control and ticket us and cattle us around like cattle every day.
Yep. For example, the New York Police Department began photographing irises of suspects and arrestees in 2010, routinely telling the suspects.
Hey, go up one. One more.
Okay, routinely telling suspects that the scans were mandatory, despite there being no law requiring defenders to have their irises scanned.
Right, so all you brothers out there know that now.
Police departments across the country are now being equipped with the mobile offender recognition and information system, or MORIS, a physical iPhone add-on that allows officers patrolling the streets to scan irises and faces of individuals and match them against government databases. And I pulled up an article on the so-called MORIS iPhone app. This is from
gotta search everything out.
Yeah. This is Popsy.com. It says, iPhone armed with facial recognition apps lets cops ID perps on the street. And this article reads, law offices in Brockton, Massachusetts have a new tool for fighting crime. The iPhone using a new app armed with facial recognition software linked to a statewide database. Cops can snap a picture of a suspect in the field and within seconds pull up that person's identity on the device. So for all you smartphone users, for you guys that use the iPhone and your Android, those same smartphones that your people use every day was going to be used against you. Just like Elder Ayathan brought out a lesson, smartphones for dumb people.
Right.
It says the system known as MORIS, Mobile Offender Recognition and Identification System, will allow officers out on the road to identify those people who already have their face, and if applicable, their criminal history, in the police database. It will initially be used by Brockton's gang unit, but it will eventually be deployed statewide. So
right, always go after the toughest jakes first, because they're the ones going to fight back the most when everything break down, because they already used to being chased through the streets by officers, being pulled over, running. So that's what I was pushing on Jake first.
Yeah. And like the elder said earlier, everything is tested on the criminals first.
Right.
Because it's the easiest to go to.
Yeah, to infringe on their rights because they don't know them and they don't have any. And don't nobody care.
The devices are actually augmented iPhones. See the video below, and I'm going to play this video after I'm done reading this. It says, as well as some extra hardware, the iPhone armed with what appears to be a much larger battery, as well as some extra hardware. That's because while the iPhones are currently armed only with facial recognition software, or MORIS maker B12 Technologies will eventually add iris recognition and fingerprint recognition to the devices, allowing officers on the beat to make a very positive ID. See that? Positive ID. And that's the name of the new company that manufactures the RFID chip. Anyone who's seen Law and Order...
So that's a buzzword.
Yep.
For the elites.
Anyone who's seen Law and Order knows wrongful arrests are a headache for everyone involved. Now, before I play this video, I just did some research on this company, B12 Technologies. And they have there's a page called Products and Services, and it says B12 Technologies primary products are software applications and information technology hardware that enable public and private organizations to use iris biometric identification technologies to quickly and accurately identify a person. And all the technologies that they've manufactured down below are the same technologies that I just showed you in the previous articles. You got your iris recognition. You got the Morris, the iPhone app, and then you got something called Soros, which is a secure web-based national system that registers and positively identifies convicted sex offenders using the most mathematically unique biometric, the iris scans. So
everything keep leading back to what you breaking down.
yep. Not everything. Not only can you commit an offense, but they'll have you in the biometric system. They'll have you in the criminal system.
Everything.